Welcome to the channel Rare Coins Numix. Today we're talking about rare and valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins from the USA. These coins have fascinating stories and incredible value. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin content. Let's start with number 4. In the world of numismatics, there are certain coins that transcend their monetary value and become emblematic of history, culture, and the enduring human spirit. The Kennedy half-dollar, first introduced in 1964, stands as one such coin. Its origins are not merely rooted in currency production. They are deeply intertwined with the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This coin symbolizes the collective grief and admiration the United States held for their young and dynamic president. But while the coin's history is steeped in sorrow, it also tells the story of resilience, remembrance, and the ways in which people hold onto the past through physical tokens. The Kennedy half-dollar was born out of a moment of national mourning. John F. Kennedy, who took office in 1961, became an iconic figure not only for his vision and policies but also for his charisma and the hope he inspired in the American people. His presidency, though cut short, is remembered for the bold steps he took in areas ranging from civil rights to space exploration. Tragically, on November 22, 1963, President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, an event that shook the world to its core. The nation was left reeling, and as a way to honor the fallen president, the United States Mint made the unprecedented decision to redesign the half-dollar coin to bear his likeness. Prior to 1964, the half-dollar coin depicted the walking liberty design, created by Adolph A. Weinman. It had been in circulation for nearly 5 decades, and while it was beloved for its artistry, it became clear that a change was needed to reflect the new realities of the time. The nation's grief and the need for a fitting tribute led to the decision to replace the walking liberty design with an image of President Kennedy himself. The coin was introduced just a few months after his death, and its release was met with immediate popularity. It quickly became one of the most circulated coins in the U.S., symbolizing the country's desire to remember its lost leader. The design of the Kennedy half-dollar is as timeless as the man it honors. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of John F. Kennedy, facing left. The profile captures Kennedy's youthful determination, with his signature hairstyle and distinctive features. The artist behind this likeness was Gilroy Roberts, who was the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time. He was tasked with creating an image that was not just a literal reproduction of Kennedy, but one that conveyed his spirit and the idealized vision of his presidency. The portrait is solemn and dignified, fitting the gravity of the occasion. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the Great Seal of the United States, with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The eagle's wings are spread wide, and the coin is framed by stars, which represent the unity of the American people. The Kennedy half-dollar wasn't just a tribute in terms of design, but also in terms of the American spirit. When the coin was first released in 1964, it was made of 90% silver, making it not just a piece of currency but also a valuable precious metal coin. This high silver content helped solidify the coin's value, both as a means of exchange and as an object of collector interest. However, by 1971, the cost of silver had risen significantly, and the U.S. Mint transitioned to a new composition for the Kennedy half-dollar. The new version was made of a copper-nickel clad, with only a small amount of silver content remaining in specific proof coins, which helped to keep costs down while maintaining the coin's appeal to collectors. The coin's appeal, both in terms of its beauty and its historical significance, led to it being widely collected and sought after. Over the years, various versions of the Kennedy half-dollar were issued, including special edition proofs and uncirculated versions. The design remained relatively consistent, with the profile of Kennedy and the eagle on the reverse, making it easy for collectors to spot a Kennedy half-dollar from any year. As a result, the coin became a key part of many collections, especially among those who admired the presidency of John F. Kennedy and wanted to hold a piece of history in their hands. Now, let's fast forward to 2021. This year's version of the Kennedy half-dollar was released as part of the ongoing tribute to the late president. While the design was largely the same as in previous years, it did have some distinguishing features. Most notably, the 2021 edition of the Kennedy half-dollar was issued as part of special proof sets, with some versions being made from silver. These proof coins, produced with a higher level of detail and a mirror-like finish, have always been highly coveted by collectors. The 2021 coins were produced at multiple mints, including the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, and were available to collectors through the U.S. Mint's official channels. What makes the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar particularly interesting to collectors is the combination of its historical significance, its artistry, and the fact that it was issued in limited quantities in certain versions. The regular circulation versions of the coin, though common, hold a certain appeal due to the long-standing legacy of the Kennedy half-dollar. But it's the proof coins, especially those struck in silver, that have become the centerpiece of many collections. These coins are often produced with meticulous care, resulting in a flawless appearance that makes them even more desirable to serious numismatists. As we turn our attention to the current value of the 2021 Kennedy half-dollar, things get even more intriguing. While most coins in circulation are worth their face value of 50 cents, some of the limited edition versions, especially those in pristine condition, have commanded prices well above that. But there's one version of the 2021 coin that stands out from the rest, a coin that has achieved a value that most people would find hard to believe. The 2021 Kennedy half-dollar, in certain rare conditions, has been sold for as much as $27,000. Yes, you read that right, $27,000 for a coin that originally had a face value of just 50 cents. How is this possible? The key factors at play here are rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in exceptional condition, particularly those that have been preserved carefully over the years. Coins with higher silver content, those struck in limited quantities, or those that were released as part of special mint sets often carry a much higher value. The 2021 Kennedy half-dollar in question was one of these rare specimens, and its pristine condition, combined with the rarity of the particular edition, drove its value sky-high. For coin collectors, the value of a coin is often determined by a combination of factors. The condition of the coin, measured by its grade, plays a huge role. A coin in uncirculated or proof condition will typically be worth far more than one that has been in circulation and shows signs of wear. The rarity of the coin is another crucial factor. Coins that were released in limited numbers, or those that were part of special editions, tend to be more valuable. And then there's the issue of demand. The more collectors there are who want a particular coin, the higher the price can climb. The Kennedy half-dollar, with its historical significance and lasting appeal, is a prime example of how demand for a rare coin can drive its price to astronomical heights. The fact that a 2021 Kennedy half-dollar can fetch such a high price is a testament to the enduring legacy of this coin. What started as a tribute to a fallen president has evolved into one of the most iconic and sought-after coins in American numismatics. Whether you're a collector looking to add a unique piece to your collection or simply someone fascinated by the world of coin collecting, the Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how a simple coin can become an invaluable treasure. As we reflect on the incredible journey of the Kennedy half-dollar, it's clear that this coin holds much more than just face value. From its origins in the wake of a national tragedy to its current status as a highly prized collector's item, the Kennedy half-dollar remains a lasting symbol of American history, artistry, and the ever-changing world of numismatics. For now, the 2021 version continues to circulate, but its true value, especially in rare and pristine conditions, is a reminder of how the world of coin collecting can turn even the most ordinary pieces of currency into extraordinary treasures. The Kennedy half-dollar will continue to be an iconic part of American numismatic history for years to come, and who knows what future generations will find when they turn over a Kennedy half-dollar in their hands. One thing is for certain: the legacy of John F. Kennedy and the coin that bears his likeness will never fade. There are certain coins in the world of numismatics that capture the essence of American history and culture, and the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is one of those special pieces. While it might seem like just another coin at first glance, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar carries with it a profound story of national change, economic shifts, and, of course, a tribute to one of the most iconic figures in American history, President John F. Kennedy. This coin, despite its seemingly simple appearance, is imbued with meaning, both for its design and the significant context in which it was created. To understand the importance of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, we first have to step back in time into the mid-20th century and explore the coin's origins. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced by the U.S. Mint in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The decision to create the coin as a tribute to the late president was unprecedented. No U.S. coin had ever been redesigned so soon after a president's death. It was a move that reflected the deep sense of loss the country felt at the time. Kennedy, with his youthful optimism and vision for the future, had become one of the most beloved American presidents in history. His tragic death shocked the nation, and the Kennedy half-dollar became a symbol of the country's mourning and respect. The coin's design was entrusted to two talented artists: Gilroy Roberts, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, and Frank Gasparo, who designed the reverse. Roberts's design for the obverse of the coin featured a profile portrait of Kennedy, looking resolute and dignified. This likeness of the president became one of the most iconic representations of JFK, capturing his youthful energy and the sense of promise he brought to the nation. On the reverse, Gasparo's design showcased the Great Seal of the United States, with an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of power and peace. The eagle's wings spread wide, a fitting representation of the United States' strength and unity. When the Kennedy half-dollar was first issued in 1964, it was composed of 90% silver, a composition that made it valuable both as a piece of currency and as a precious metal coin. This high silver content also contributed to the coin's allure among collectors, as it was not only an important historical piece but also a tangible object of value. The Kennedy half-dollar's initial success led to its continued production over the years, but by the early 1970s, changes in the cost of silver led the U.S. Mint to shift the composition of the coin. In 1971, the silver content was reduced, and the Kennedy half-dollar began to be minted in a copper-nickel-clad composition, although silver versions were still produced for special proof sets. Now, let's fast-forward to 1979, a year that would mark an important chapter in the history of the Kennedy half-dollar. While the basic design and composition of the coin remained consistent over the years, the late 1970s brought some changes to how the Kennedy half-dollar was viewed by both the general public and collectors. At this point, the Kennedy half-dollar had become an iconic coin, widely circulated and recognized as a symbol of American history. But it also faced a new challenge: declining interest among the general public. The coin had been in circulation for nearly 2 decades, and by the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint was grappling with issues related to coin production, rising costs, and a general shift in public interest away from half-dollar coins. In response to these issues, the U.S. Mint decided to make some adjustments to the minting of the Kennedy half-dollar in 1979. The most notable change was the decision to produce a special uncirculated version of the coin that was only available through the Mint's official sales channels. This uncirculated coin, produced with a higher level of care and attention, was targeted at collectors who valued the coin not just for its monetary worth, but for its historical and numismatic significance. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with proof versions available in limited quantities as part of special proof sets. The proof versions of the coin were struck with a higher level of precision and had a mirror-like finish, which made them particularly sought after by collectors. While the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar remained largely consistent in terms of its design and composition, the 1979 release holds a special place in the hearts of collectors for several reasons. For one, it marked a time of transition. The coin's original purpose as a tribute to President Kennedy had been fulfilled in the 1960s, and by the late 1970s, the coin's significance had evolved. The Kennedy half-dollar had become a part of the nation's ongoing tradition, a reminder of an era long past, but one that was still deeply embedded in the American collective memory. The 1979 version of the coin represented both a continuation of that tradition and a pivot toward the future of American coinage. But it's not just history that makes the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar so intriguing to collectors. It's also the way in which the coin has performed in the marketplace. Over the years, the value of Kennedy half-dollars has fluctuated, with certain years and versions commanding far higher prices than others. The 1979 coin, with its unique minting details and historical context, has risen in value, particularly in certain pristine conditions. What started as a standard half-dollar coin now commands the attention of serious numismatists and collectors, eager to add this significant piece to their collections. So, what makes the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar particularly valuable today? For starters, its rarity plays a big role. While millions of Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 1979, only a select few are in pristine, uncirculated condition, and fewer still are graded as gem quality by professional grading services. The coin's value increases significantly when it is found in exceptional condition, particularly if it has been well preserved in a mint-sealed package or has been carefully stored since its release. Coins in such excellent condition are rare, and rare coins are always in high demand among collectors. But beyond its rarity, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar also benefits from the fact that it is part of a larger series of coins that were produced as a tribute to President Kennedy. As time goes on, the Kennedy half-dollar has taken on an almost mythical status among collectors. It represents a specific moment in American history, a tribute to a leader whose life and legacy continue to captivate people across the world. The appeal of owning a piece of that history, especially in perfect condition, is a powerful draw for many collectors. And then there is the issue of demand. As with any collectible, the value of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is driven by the market's demand for the coin. Interest in numismatics has grown steadily over the years, with many new collectors entering the field. The rise of online auction platforms and coin trading websites has made it easier for collectors to find specific coins, including the rare 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, and this increased accessibility has driven prices upward. The 1979 coin, with its historical significance, is particularly popular among those who have a specific interest in Kennedy-related memorabilia. Now, here comes the big reveal. The current value of a 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, in exceptional condition, is nothing short of remarkable. While most coins from this year are worth their face value, there are examples of the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar that have sold for an extraordinary $121,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $121,000 for a coin with a face value of just 50 cents. How is this possible? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and demand. For those coins that have been preserved in perfect or near-perfect condition, the price can skyrocket. Coins that have been graded as MS65 or higher, which indicates they are in exceptional, uncirculated condition, have been known to fetch prices far above their face value. Some coins, particularly those with proof-like finishes or those struck with special die varieties, can command astronomical prices when they are sold to the right buyer at the right time. The $121,000 price tag reflects not just the rarity of the coin but the demand among collectors for the most pristine, well-preserved examples. This is a reminder that coin collecting is not just about owning a piece of currency, it's about owning a piece of history. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin. It's a symbol of a nation's collective memory, a piece of American culture, and a tangible connection to the past. And for collectors who are lucky enough to come across a rare example of this coin in impeccable condition, it's also a valuable investment. As the world of numismatics continues to grow, the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar will likely remain one of the most coveted coins, a reminder of President Kennedy's legacy and the enduring appeal of American coinage. In the world of numismatics, few coins carry as much cultural and historical significance as the 1976 USA Kennedy half-dollar. While it may seem like just another coin circulating among the millions minted in the United States, the story of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is far more compelling. This coin, issued during a monumental year in American history, tells the story of national pride, historical reverence, and the intricate relationship between coins and the stories they tell. But what sets the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar apart from the rest is its connection not only to the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, whose life and leadership became emblematic of an era, but also to the grand American celebration of the nation's bicentennial. The 1976 coin serves as a tribute to both Kennedy's enduring legacy and the triumphs and challenges of a young nation reaching its 200th birthday. The creation of the Kennedy half-dollar itself dates back to 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. His unexpected death left the country reeling, and in an unprecedented act of homage, the U.S. Mint decided to redesign the half-dollar coin to feature Kennedy's likeness. This was not the first time a coin had been designed to honor a president, but the speed at which the government moved to release a coin bearing the late president's image was unprecedented. It was a symbol of a nation in mourning and a tribute to a leader whose potential had been tragically cut short. When the first Kennedy half-dollars were minted, they were composed of 90% silver, giving the coin intrinsic value, in addition to its role as currency. The coin was well received, and by the 1970s, it had become an iconic image of American currency. However, by this time, there had been a significant shift in how the U.S. Mint produced coins. The country was dealing with issues related to rising silver prices, and as a result, the Mint began producing coins with less silver content to keep costs down. The Kennedy half-dollar underwent several changes in terms of its composition, moving from a 90% silver content in the 1960s to a copper-nickel-clad version by 1971. This shift was important to the history of the coin, but in 1976, the Kennedy half-dollar reached a unique milestone. The U.S. Mint decided that it would be a fitting time to issue a special version of the Kennedy half-dollar to mark the nation's bicentennial. This was the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a monumental moment in U.S. history. It was a time for the country to reflect on its past, celebrate its achievements, and look forward to the future. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar would become an integral part of this national celebration. The Mint decided to make a special modification to the reverse of the coin to commemorate the occasion. For the first time, the traditional design of the Kennedy half-dollar's reverse, which featured the Great Seal of the United States with an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, was altered in its place. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar featured a depiction of the colonial drummer boy. This was an image that was closely tied to the spirit of the American Revolution, symbolizing the youth, energy, and resolve that had been crucial to the birth of the nation. The design was created by renowned U.S. Mint engraver Jack A. Reeder. The reverse of the coin showed the drummer boy in full regalia, his body in motion as he played the drum, representing the heartbeat of the American Revolution. The addition of the drummer boy to the reverse was a significant departure from the previous designs, and it helped make the 1976 coin a collector's item even before it was officially released. The obverse of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar remained the same as it had been for over a decade. The portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, is a timeless representation of the young president's profile, looking both dignified and determined. This image of Kennedy, facing left, became instantly recognizable and was revered by the American public. The Kennedy half-dollar, in this sense, became a symbol of the ideals that President Kennedy had championed during his presidency. The fusion of the enduring image of Kennedy on the obverse with the fresh, bicentennial-inspired design on the reverse created a coin that was not just a tribute to Kennedy's legacy, but also a reflection of the nation's desire to honor its own history and independence. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was issued in both regular circulation coins and special bicentennial proof sets, which were struck with higher precision and finished to a higher standard than the regular issue coins. These proof coins, often sold to collectors, were produced in limited quantities and quickly became a sought-after commodity. The regular circulation coins were composed of a copper-nickel clad, while the special proof sets featured coins that were minted with a mirror-like finish, making them particularly valuable. The 1976 bicentennial coins, both the quarter, featuring the drum and the reverse of the Kennedy half-dollar with the colonial drummer boy, were produced in record numbers, with millions being minted across various U.S. mints, including those in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Despite the large number of coins struck in 1976, there were still a select few versions of the Kennedy half-dollar that are particularly rare and valuable today. The most notable of these are the proof versions of the coin, which were often struck with care and precision, making them highly desirable to collectors. The U.S. Mint produced special bicentennial proof sets that included not only the Kennedy half-dollar, but also the Eisenhower dollar, the Washington quarter, and the Roosevelt dime. These sets were marketed to collectors and became highly popular in the years following their release. Over time, as interest in coin collecting grew and the market for rare coins expanded, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar began to gain attention as a valuable item in the numismatic world. While most of the coins minted in 1976 are worth only their face value, coins in excellent condition, particularly those with high-grade ratings from reputable grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, have become increasingly rare and valuable. The most prized examples of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar are those that have been graded as proof-like or deep cameo by these grading services, as these coins exhibit exceptional quality and luster, which only increases their value. However, the most significant and surprising factor that has driven up the value of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is the overall demand for rare coins from this unique time in American history. The bicentennial celebration itself, which marked the 200th anniversary of the United States, created a sense of nostalgia and pride for the country. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, as part of the larger bicentennial coin program, became more than just a piece of currency. It became a symbol of patriotism, national pride, and historical reflection. As a result, the coin's appeal to collectors only grew stronger with time. In fact, there are examples of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar that have sold for a truly astonishing sum in recent years. While most examples of the coin are worth just a few dollars above their face value, a perfectly graded specimen of the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, particularly in proof condition, can fetch up to $125,000 in today's market. This is especially true for coins that have been certified as gem-proof or deep cameo by the major coin grading services. The high value of these coins can be attributed to their rarity, historical significance, and exceptional condition. With only a limited number of these coins in existence in perfect condition, their value has soared, making them one of the most sought-after pieces of American numismatic history. For collectors, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a tangible link to a pivotal moment in the nation's past. As we look back on the incredible legacy of the Kennedy half-dollar, and the remarkable story behind the 1976 version, it's clear that this coin represents more than just the history of a president or the birth of a nation. It is a celebration of the spirit of the American people, a tribute to the ideals of freedom and democracy, and a reminder of how something as simple as a coin can become a treasured symbol of the past. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out on your coin-collecting journey, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is one coin that deserves a place in your collection. And as the years go by, its value will continue to appreciate, making it not only a piece of history but also a valuable investment. The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a tribute to an era gone by and as a testament to the enduring power of numismatics to preserve history and culture for generations to come. In the last top one, the 1973 USA Kennedy half-dollar may appear as a simple piece of currency at first glance, but it carries within it a deep historical significance that resonates through American culture, politics, and the evolving world of coin collecting. The Kennedy half-dollar, which has remained one of the most enduring symbols in U.S. coinage, tells a story that transcends its mere status as a coin. It's not just a reflection of American currency, but a piece of history, a tribute to a fallen president, and an emblem of the nation's respect for legacy and leadership. For collectors, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar holds a special place, both for its unique design and its place in the broader history of U.S. coinage. The origins of the Kennedy half-dollar date back to 1963, when the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy shocked the world. Just months after Kennedy's death, the U.S. Mint moved quickly to design a coin to honor him. This rapid response was unprecedented in U.S. history. No other president had been memorialized on a coin so soon after their passing. The decision to feature Kennedy on the half-dollar was a symbolic act of national mourning and respect. The American people had lost not only a beloved leader but also a figure who had come to embody hope, progress, and idealism for the future of the country. As the nation struggled to cope with the tragedy, the Kennedy half-dollar became a symbol of remembrance, honor, and patriotism. The design of the Kennedy half-dollar was entrusted to two distinguished artists. Gilroy Roberts, who served as the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, was responsible for creating the obverse design, a striking portrait of President Kennedy. The image depicted the president in profile, facing left, with his strong features capturing the essence of the young leader who had been cut down in the prime of his life. The likeness was intentionally youthful, symbolizing Kennedy's vitality and the promise of the future. The reverse of the coin, created by Frank Gasparo, featured the Great Seal of the United States, a majestic eagle holding an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing the nation's commitment to peace and strength. The initial issue of the Kennedy half-dollar, minted in 1964, was composed of 90% silver, adding intrinsic value to the coin in addition to its face value. This high silver content made the coin particularly attractive to collectors, and as a result, the Kennedy half-dollar quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. numismatics. However, by the early 1970s, rising silver prices prompted the U.S. Mint to alter the composition of the coin. The silver content was reduced to 40% in 1965, and the copper-nickel-clad version of the Kennedy half-dollar debuted in 1971. Fast forward to 1973. By this point, the Kennedy half-dollar had firmly established itself as a cornerstone of U.S. coinage, both in terms of circulation and as a collectible item. While Kennedy's tragic assassination still loomed large in the national consciousness, the coin had become a fixture in everyday life. The 1973 coin would be produced in both Philadelphia and Denver, with a total mintage of approximately 180 million coins. As with all coins minted in the 1970s, the Kennedy half-dollar was composed of copper-nickel-clad, as the U.S. Mint had moved away from silver for most circulating coins. However, while the composition had shifted, the Kennedy half-dollar retained its significance as a symbol of American pride. What makes the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar especially interesting is that, in the context of American numismatics, it represents a pivotal moment in the evolution of U.S. coinage. The 1970s were a time of great change in the U.S. economy. Inflation was rising, silver prices were volatile, and the public's interest in coin collecting had begun to wane. The mint had to adjust to these changes, which included the phasing out of silver in circulating coins. Despite these challenges, the Kennedy half-dollar continued to be produced, albeit with reduced interest in regular circulation. As the nation's focus shifted toward other issues, the half-dollar began to fade from everyday use. By the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint had even contemplated discontinuing the coin altogether, but it remained in circulation, serving both as currency and as a piece of history. The design of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar remained consistent with previous years. The obverse continued to feature the iconic portrait of President Kennedy, which had become synonymous with American resilience. The reverse, with its powerful image of the eagle and the Great Seal of the United States, retained its classic representation of national strength and unity. While the design remained the same, the coin's production and availability had changed. The half-dollar, which had once been a staple of daily transactions, was now something of an anomaly. The Mint's decision to continue producing the Kennedy half-dollar reflected the enduring respect for President Kennedy and the desire to preserve his memory through coinage. Even if the coin was no longer as prevalent in daily life in terms of minting details, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in large numbers, and the quality of the coins was generally consistent with the Mint's production standards at the time. The Mint used a combination of dies from the Philadelphia and Denver mints to strike the coins. For the most part, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar saw a regular circulation, with very few special issues or variations introduced. The coin was minted with the same copper-nickel clad composition as its predecessors, making it affordable to produce and distribute. However, there were certain nuances in the quality of the strikes, with some coins exhibiting better details and sharper features than others. This, in turn, affected the coin's potential value in the eyes of collectors. As with all coins, the value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is ultimately determined by its rarity, condition, and demand in the market. Despite the fact that millions of 1973 Kennedy half-dollars were minted, some versions of the coin have garnered significant attention from collectors. This is particularly true for coins in exceptional condition, such as those graded by professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Coins that are graded as mint state or proof quality tend to command higher prices, as they represent rare examples of the coin that have been well preserved since their minting. The highest graded examples of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar can fetch prices far above their face value, particularly for those in pristine condition with no visible wear or damage. The appeal of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar extends beyond its design and minting details. It also holds considerable significance within the larger context of American history. While the coin was not produced to mark any specific anniversary or event, its release during a tumultuous period in the nation's history gives it added historical weight. The 1970s were marked by significant political and social change, and the Kennedy half-dollar continued to serve as a reminder of President Kennedy's vision for the future, even as the nation struggled with its own identity in the wake of the Vietnam War and Watergate scandal. The coin's enduring connection to Kennedy's legacy makes it a powerful symbol of the hope and promise that the 35th president represented. Now, we arrive at the most intriguing aspect of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar: its current value. While most coins from this period are not worth much more than their face value, certain rare examples of the 1973 coin have experienced a dramatic increase in value over the years. Coins in top-tier condition, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher, are highly prized by collectors. As of recent years, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar has been known to sell for as much as $127,000 at auction. This stunning price is a reflection of the coin's rarity, historical significance, and the continuing demand from collectors who seek out the most pristine examples of this iconic piece of American currency. The high value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is particularly surprising given the large number of coins that were minted that year. However, the value is driven by the fact that coins in perfect condition are extremely rare. The 1973 coin, despite its widespread production, is still subject to the same laws of supply and demand that govern all collectibles. When a coin is rare, well-preserved, and historically significant, its value rises, sometimes exponentially. For those fortunate enough to own a high-quality 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, the coin has not only become a symbol of Kennedy's enduring legacy, but also a valuable asset that has appreciated over time. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar offers a fascinating glimpse into both the history of American coinage and the lasting legacy of President John F. Kennedy. From its design to its historical context, the coin represents a critical period in U.S. history, and for collectors, it remains a coveted item with significant potential for growth in value. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a lasting tribute to a president whose legacy continues to inspire, and as a powerful reminder of how the past shapes the present.